Dick, it's hard to imagine. We've been in this building for 10 years now. And I remember back in the summer of 2001, actually, that I received a call from one of the members of the church, and she said that she wanted to donate some money. And she asked me how much she thought she should donate. And I said, well, don't ever ask a preacher how much money you should give. And she said, well, maybe if I gave $50,000, do you think we could buy land for $50,000? And I said, well, I'm sure we could. She said, well, I just not settled on the amount. But over a period of weeks, she kept praying and asking God, and she eventually gave us about $250,000. And so that's how this whole thing got started. We came here to Weston, we bought the 4 acres, and now here we are 10 years later. We're sitting in the kitchen of this building.
Yeah, I got some definite ideas on exactly how we wanted the building laid out. It was 100 by 100 square, I remember that.
Yeah, we took it over to United Structures. That they did the shell for the building, and they had a draftsman there to actually be sure that all the codes would work, and they pretty much built it the way we wanted to build it.
You were the general manager on the project, I remember that. When I was the project manager.
Well, yeah, but it saved the church a lot of money by us sort of serving in those roles ourselves. In fact, I remember them telling us it saved us almost $140,000 if you and I would take it on. And I just remember us meeting a lot every morning. We'd come to when it was just a piece of land, and we would meet and we would talk, and then the construction started. And so it was a lot of fun.
I can remember Fred, sales and service, seeing you coming, and he was just kind of shaking in his boots. He said, here comes that pastor man again. He's going to ask me for another discount.
Yeah, but he usually gave me the discounts, so it saved us a lot of money.
And first, before they even got started with the foundation, you went and figured out where the sanctuary was going to be and where the pulpit was going to be. You took a Bible, put it in a wrapper, dug a hole, you buried it right where the pulpit is.
Yeah, well, it meant a lot to me, the idea that this church would be built on the Word, and so that's why we did that. Of course, it's still there today, and I stand over that every time I'm preaching. But I also remember we bought an old work truck.
Oh, yes. Oh, no gas gauge. You run out of gas all the time with the thing. Various places.
But it was an old truck, and we used it to go get supplies during the day.
Yes, and then you made the dump runs with that baby.
then we had to go to the dump, and
you had to bribe ladies to go there. Remember?
I remember. And once somebody went to the dump once, they never wanted to go back because of the smell.
Yeah, you only got them to do it one time.
That's exactly right.
Who hasn't made a dump run?
Yeah, exactly. But you know, we worked with contractors through the day, and they did most of their work during the day. But at night, that's when our people really turned out.
We got prepared for work at night. We hauled in insulation during the day and some drywall. There was a whole crew hanging up insulation in between the metal studs and getting it all taped in tight so it wouldn't fall out. There was another crew that came through and did the drywall, and you had to figure out where the outlets were and cut all the holes for them. Some of our ladies got really good at that.
Yeah. Well, and we did the ceiling tile. We
Yes.
did that as well. We had men working, women working. They did painting. You know, if it hadn't been for the lay people.
Before we painted, though, we had to do that texture stuff.
Oh yeah.
Remember, you had the gun?
Yeah. I had the texture gun.
I kept filling it.
Well, and what I also remember is that the electrician, when he left, we would use his lift to do the texturing. And I remember when he found out we were using it every night, he told me he wanted to charge us rent on it, but I talked him out of it. But everybody worked hard, and that's what saved us a lot of money.
It was a good working crew. It was fun to do that. A lot of good effort put into that, and I remember a lot of good times.
But I remember the joke you guys pulled on me on that Tyvek.
Yes. We had that wagon set up along the side, and we were on the top row where the windows were. And we had you set up in the middle. We were standing on the wagon, and you were just pounding staples in as we were pulling the wagon along.
I remember.
Right through the window, and boom.
Yeah, I almost fell into the building because you guys had stretched it over the
Everybody was holding their breath waiting for you.
But at least we had a good time. I think one of the funniest things was when it was time to start putting the carpeting in the building. And these two guys showed up, and a bunch of our guys were standing over to the side, and they said, we're here to put the carpet in, and we're told that we're supposed to start in the father's office, because that was the only carpet they had was for the father. So they said, is the father here? So I was standing over doing some painting or something, and I was in t-shirt and jeans, and several of the guys were getting a big kick out of it, and there's the father, they said. So these guys come over and they said, Father, we're here to put the carpet in your office, and we just want to know where to start. And I said, well, let me show you. And I said, bless you, my sons. And of course, I had a whole audience, all these guys watching, and these guys were just doing this. You know, they were really getting into that. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we started out, there was a lot of really good workers. We had about 100 workers, kept showing up every night. 5 nights a week, 6 nights.
Yeah.
And working hard, but we're at 400 now, aren't we?
Close to 400 people now attending this church in these 10 years. It's been good, but I know we have a lot of good memories, but I remember one tough memory.
I remember the sign.
Yeah. Me, you, electrician, and guys from the sign company were coming that day to put the sign up, and I'll never forget coming in the building. We were just a few weeks from opening 10 years ago, and couldn't find you anywhere. I was hollering and hollering, couldn't find you, and then I heard you tapping or something, and I went over to the stage, and you were laying over there behind the keyboard, and you'd had a stroke. And I'll never forget running to the kitchen, picking up the phone, calling. They came, and the paramedics taking you away.
That's
but
right. That was before cell phones, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was before I even had a cell phone. If I had one, I didn't have it with me. So, but you're doing fine, and Lord knows we've done a lot of work, and you've done a lot of work on the building and the grounds in these 10 years.
He's restored me. Thank you for that, Lord. But yeah, there's a lot of changes. We built the garage out there to keep the lawnmowers and storage stuff in, and we've had to add to the parking lot twice. Kept getting more and more people. That was great. That was a new problem, and it was a wonderful problem to have.
Yeah.
Then we built the distribution center, and that's up and running now.
Yeah, and who knows what the Lord has for us in the future. And I just want to say thanks to you for all your work for these 10 years.
And all the rest of the people.
And we couldn't have made it if it had been for all these volunteers. And if the Lord didn't come, hopefully we'll get another 10, 20 years in this building. And
10 more, yes.
Yeah, there you go. So thank you for all you've done. Appreciate it very much.